Welcome to the Compass Audiocast. I'm your host, Hawa Kambian. Prepare to revisit the compassionate wisdom many of us heard in our youth so that we can mindfully apply it to reimagine a future of work that we can all shape for the better. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Compass Audiocast. Thrilled to have you here. So today's quote is, "When I'm trying my hardest, it's nice when someone notices." And as a child, what generally came up for me when I would read this quote is that it's nice to be recognized for the things I care about. When I started working, it took on a new dimension where I now reflect on this quote and come to the conclusion that it's important to recognize and support myself when I'm expending significant effort. So this quote has so many flavors and shades to it that there really isn't one key moment that I come to. What it brings up for me are all the times when I was hustling and accomplishing with no space or joy to recognize what I accomplished. And in those times, there were people who reflected back to me my progress and success. Alternatively, it also brings up moments when I kept falling down and getting up and pivoting and starting over in my career and appreciating that there were people who reflected back my courage, focus, and determination. So what might be the problem with this, you might be asking? When I'm flying high accomplishing, it's difficult to remember that my life and value and worth is made up of more than what I do or what I have. Also, when work is a challenge and outcomes don't appear with ease, flow, or speed, it's difficult to appreciate the learning, tenacity, and growth that's actually being developed. And this is so important for me because it comes down to competence. And let me share the thought pattern because it goes a little something like this. Trying hard is connected to an ability to do things. The better you are, the easier life becomes. The worse you are, the harder it becomes. And I don't want to live a hard life. I don't want to have to struggle, suffer, and toil to achieve my goals or be accepted. So let's do some bridging now and talk about the negative, low vibrational state that I'm in when these kinds of thoughts are coming up for me. Generally, I feel a lot of guilt and shame, and I'll talk a little bit about this from both perspectives. So on the one hand, where I'm hustling and accomplishing and my to-do list is never ending, that shame comes from not consistently accomplishing in order to cement my worth, right? Because once you get one thing done and you're doing great, you better believe there's at least 10 other things lined up that you need to be working on in order to keep that sense of self and that sense of worth high, right? Then when we look at the other side of the spectrum where it's like, I'm working really hard and it doesn't seem to be working, there's also this guilt and shame that comes from a feeling of constantly failing and learning and growing my way through my career and my business, right? Because again, the old story goes that if I'm better, it gets easier, and it gets easier because I'm worthy and deserving of that ease. So anything that is the opposite of that is basically telling me that I'm not good enough, right? And so that positive state that I'm looking for is to have the energy, the confidence, and the positive attitude to continue to try hard and pursue my goals, my dreams, and my vision. Also, wanting to experience the feeling of fulfillment and recognition and celebration and enjoyment when I am accomplishing things, right? To not just accomplish and be so quick to dismiss the work that I've put in or be so quick to focus on the new challenge or goal. And this is actually really important in the workplace because it brings up this question of, which comes first, the mindset and the motivation to accomplish, or hitting an accomplishment that then gives you the mindset and motivation, right? It's a little bit of a chicken and egg scenario. We live in a world that often wants to encourage us to pursue certain accomplishments based on how others will perceive, judge, and align with us. And when I looked at my professional career, there are many things I did, chased, or participated in because I thought that's how it was supposed to look, to be serious, respected, and have my life together. It took so much energy to stay excited about chasing those things or putting all of my energy into achieving them, or not in some cases. For me, the future of work is going to see professionals, founders, and businesses thrive, operating from a place of more compassion, curiosity, and change that is possible through their work. We will experience pure forms of motivation and joy that come from what we do, whether that's technically or relationally. So, what do I like to do today when I face this challenge of being unable to recognize my hard work and effort at whatever stage I'm at? Firstly, find my people. My brother, my best friends, my mentors, having people in my life who are an active part of my day-to-day and my growth helps me be honest about what I really want and whether I'm putting the effort into those things. That's actually what we celebrate and recognize together. The accolades, the rewards, the outcomes, they're just extra. Secondly, pay attention. Let's bring it back to basics. If I find myself doing something and trying hard and I have more to complain about than to be grateful and excited about, I know that it's time to rethink whether that's the version of hard I'm willing to commit myself to. Pushing ourselves can be good and will grow no matter what. However, pushing ourselves for something that's connected to what we care about, are curious about, and have a vision around makes it so much easier to find positives in that scenario. Thirdly, jump timelines. Lately, I find myself saying, a year ago, I never would have done X, and now I have. And that feeling is so empowering that a version of myself from a few months ago is different from the version of me today. Who could the version of me next year be? What is she doing? What does she have? When I remember how far I've come, I'm setting up the motivation and momentum for my next leap forward. And so what's the life change here? For me, following some of these tips has helped me create a clearer sense of what my leadership looks like. And it makes it so much easier to recognize and celebrate myself when I see myself walking a path that's in alignment. The truth is, people won't always want to or be able to recognize and support me in the ways that I need. That's my job. And it's not one that I've mastered growing up. It's a daily practice and discernment about whom, what, how, and why I share my time and energy based on what is going to fulfill my life and help me grow. And that's crucial to me because I'm really passionate about being able to design and take action on a professional and business journey that aligns me and hopefully helps others align to who we want to be, what we want to create, and a more positive future of work. And this quote this week, it really sums up for me that if we're trying our hardest, it may as well be in the direction of a life, work experience, and business that we ourselves can always be proud of, motivated, and guided by. Thanks for tuning in to the Compass Audiocast, where we bridge past, present, and positive for the future of work. Please like this post if you found it useful, share it with someone who may need to hear it, and subscribe if you want to be notified when our next one comes out. Leave me a comment to share when you've tried your hardest in career or business and whether the results were what you expected. Thanks, and I'll catch you on the next one.